Okay, so this is a little bit awkward, but I thought it'd be easier than writing all this down. If you look at the Woodlawn trailer, it's interesting that there's a comment in there that says, this is what happens when God shows up. And my story with this whole Woodlawn thing goes back to almost a year ago from this month. I happened to speak at my best friend's funeral. His name is Trent Beatley, and his wife is also now a financing partner in this project as well. But Trent was a guy who just did everything right. He had a brain tumor diagnosis several years ago, but was a philanthropic guy who spent a lot of time in Africa working with the Luke Commission, which again has another local tie, and doing just great things all over the place. But Trent had a stroke sometime last August and then succumbed to some complications from that about early December. So I had the privilege of speaking at his funeral and was pretty much calling people out publicly to live like Trent and not wait until you have a diagnosis of a problem before you start doing that. And left. I felt really pretty good about my speech and thought I got people pretty fired up. And then came home, and the next day I get a phone call from a friend of mine who says, hey, I have an opportunity for you, and it sounds like it's up your alley, but it's a little bit of a stretch. And he says a friend of his from his orphanage days is involved in a movie production out in LA through a group through Birmingham and called Woodlawn, and they're looking for some seed money to finish out the production. And he was interested if I was wanting to invest in it. And I asked him, Joe Knopp, whether or not I could afford it, because see, Joe was my financial advisor and at the time, and it still is. And I said, seems like a lot of money and a little bit of a stretch. But he said, no, I'm not sure you can. But he goes, when you watch the movie promotion trailer, you'll see what I'm talking about. So they sent me the information, watched the initial trailer, pretty much got goosebumps from it. I called Trent's wife. I said, what would Trent do? She says he'd be in this in a heartbeat. So the two of us took a pretty big leap of faith and decided to put some money toward this project in hopes of a couple things happening. Number one, we really wanted the movie to get out. We wanted the message to get out. It's a great story with a feel-good message. And that was primary goal number one. Number two, it might return some financial return or break even, but if it gets the message out and does that, that'd be great. And the other third part was it might be fun to be a part of something. So over the course of the year, the project has grown way beyond what I would expect it to be, and now we're 6 weeks away from what I would call opening night, October 16th, and we're now releasing in 2,000 theaters nationwide coming up. So it's made its way to here. I've seen the clips from the movie. It's really going to be good. It kind of has a Remember the Titans feel. In summary, it's a 1973 story about Woodlawn High School, which was one of the last schools to integrate in Birmingham, Alabama, and all the problems associated with it, not just from the racial side of things. And it revolves around Tony Nathan and the chaplain at the school and the coaching staff, and how they were able to rally not only the team, but what led to rallying an entire community around this team. The climax is a big high school football game, which at the time was the largest high school football game, at least what I'm told, ever played, with 40,000 people at it to see the championship game at the end of the year. And everybody came out to see this team. So that's the story. It's a true story, which makes it much cooler as opposed to scripted out. These are about real people and real-time events. And I think at this point in time, with a lot of things going around the country, it's incredibly timely. So as I said in the email, we are trying to plan a preview locally. And I've spoken with Joe Knopp, my friend, who now although he's still my financial advisor, is now full-time producer for John Irwin and his Irwin production company. And I think we'd like to connect to see if it's worth local news coverage for the preview, because of the local involvement with me and Valerie Beatley, tying in the Trent Beatley story. I can give you a ton of information on him. And then Joe Knopp, who's a Springboro native now on the production staff of this. So run this around. Hope you get the email, or hope you get this video, that it's not too large to send, and get back with me. Hope you're having a good day.